The Cosmic Dance, a record of spiritual dialogues, channeled by Julie Soskin, Chapter 2. Energies and Magnetism. There is a lattice of swirling energies moving within and around your globe. Every thought process, every feeling, every action that you take has and creates an energy. Most humans are groping in the darkness, seeking futile goals, in the hope that this will lead to happiness. The only true goal is to move closer to, and eventually combine with, the fountainhead of light, the God Source. Everything else that you do is but a reflection of this goal. Material things might give you some limited satisfaction, a feeling of gaining something, such as position, money, or power. What are you really striving for is to move up the ladder, closer to the Godhead. So, relative to this, as you seek to manifest a reaction in the material world, you might think you want to be at the top of your tree. But when you achieve this, you find that after a moment of pleasure, the pleasure fades. This is because the soul light within tells you there is more. You realize that what you have striven for is not enough. Most of you then continue to push, jumping from one thing to another, and still you are not satisfied. However, in the process of pushing forward in whatever you do, a positive energy is created along with its counterforce in the universe. Then, through the experience of pushing forward, you can notice this reflection in the universe. And once you reach the very top, or the very bottom, depending on your individual character and personality, enlightenment can come. When you experience love through the emotions, much energy emanates from you. This energy is emotionally scintillating and shoots out into the atmosphere like sharp little needles that irritate rather than stab. This irritation is felt by yourself and by those who come close to you. In desiring this love, you are really desiring union with the Source. And when you find what you describe as true love, this is again but a reflection of the love and fulfillment that you will eventually find when you return to the Source. There are many forms of what you call love. The truest form, however, in human terms, is the love of friendship, the opening up to another person when there is neither demand nor control over the other. This is the truest image, a mirror of God. When you get enmeshed in emotion, the passion, desiring, wanting, and the jealousy that you feel sends out black energy which is very similar to hate and fear. Think on this. Negative vibrations are thrown out, all of which must go somewhere. They either stay within the aura of the individual concerned, creating problems for them, or they shoot out into the astral realms in the form of negative black cloud energies. This process is now coming to an end, for the astral has to clear. It is now clearing, and in the future it will no longer exist. You have within your bodies different energy frequencies. The energy of the soul is a separate force within your body. It motivates you even though you are not always aware of it. It is stronger than the physical, emotional, and mental energies. It motivates you. And as we explained earlier, most of those who are materially based find a reflection of it in the material world. All energies within the body originally emanated from the Source. The emotional centers are there to enable you to perceive and learn compassion for your fellow man. Unfortunately, fear energy very often transmits a frequency to the emotional body that stirs and sparks it. And once the emotions are sparked in a negative way, they can perpetuate themselves, causing untold damage to yourself and others. To quiet this emotional frequency, thought patterns must come from the mind to still it. It cannot be stilled by its own energy. Always the higher frequencies tap on the door and say, "Enough!" Then, at the point of release, the restless negative energy will dissipate. There is, however, a better way to quiet this negative force, and it is one that has hitherto rarely been used, but it can be utilized now. Instead of using a mental switch to turn it off, you can touch and expand your soul stillness. In the stillness and quietness, a balance can be found. We now expect more and more of you to do this. This can also be used as a way of stilling the mind. A negative mental energy must also be stilled. It cannot be stilled by its own energies. It can only be quietened by the soul, the highest force. Emotional energy can create more astral energy, or it can stay within the individual's aura, or cling to another's aura. Some observers and healers can see auras, and can see how negative astral energy damages the aura. It is no good blaming others for your negativity. Astral energy, like any other, ebbs and flows with its magnetism. And where there is suffering, there is always some dark energy which has been drawn in. The person in question has allowed it in. If you break this circuit using your soul stillness, your pain will be released. If you think on this, you will see how important it is to have a clear point of resonance within yourself. And if you do, then the pain will end. It is important that you begin now to understand how energies and magnetism really work in the universe. The desire to reach the highest state of love is within every human soul. High perfected love, like everything else, is an energy. Love in all its facets is a vibrational frequency. Only through expanding the soul, by unfolding the darkness of the image, can the individual begin to hear and attune to perfect love. Perfected love is not emotional. It is the frequency of light. Eventually, even the highest love frequency will be transcended. But this need not concern you now. This will occur during further evolutions in the future. Again we say, nothing remains stagnant, and nothing ever will. This is a daunting concept for you to realize, that there is no beginning and no end. Mutation, transformation, growth, and dispersals. All the time, everything is moving. There was, of course, a physical beginning to your planet, and there will be a physical end. But there will never be an end to the energy of your planet. This will transmute and grow. A major cosmic cycle is now coming to an end. The cosmos is always moving, shifting, and reformulating. At this time, to great effect, man has but a few years left to disconnect from what you call karmic forces, so a great deal has to be worked through, both on an individual and a global level. Every living thing is feeling an acceleration. It is natural that the karmic principle on your globe should come to an end. There is a movement forward at a cosmic level, a transformation. Yours is but one mind in a universe of minds, one cell in the whole. Cells mutate and grow and die. Your planet is not dying, it's mutating. You are mutating. You are experiencing very different energy frequencies now. Something similar happened many millions of years ago, but this was not the same. The present mutations occurring on Earth are something different and new. The beings who first stood on your planet brought energy that accelerated growth because the conditions of that time were right for growth. This was used to accelerate plant life and to infuse more energy into animals so as to enlarge them. It was not known which animals would be able to take this acceleration and complete this transmutation. Some species could not take this energy of a heightened frequency and died out. The most adaptable creatures were the apes. Energy of higher frequencies surged into them, accelerating their evolution. These beings who were assisting with this process were higher forces, helpers in the universe. As always, the higher lifting the lower. As this infusion of energy occurred, Ape Man changed, mutated, and grew, all within a very short space of time. Many scientists still believe the process of Ape Man becoming modern man took millions of years, but this is not so. The cranium changed, and the brain altered. The sensations, the fingers and the feet, the shape of Ape Man changed. Now, dear children of this planet Earth, a similar mutation is taking place. You are moving on. Your bodies, feelings, thoughts, and brain cells are mutating in light. Think for a moment on the differences between cumbersome ape man and modern man with an intelligent brain and adaptable, nimble hands and feet. Think on how much the brain has changed, and how the brain of man is changing again. Now you can begin to conceive what it is that you are mutating into. Your cumbersome vehicles will become lighter. The brain will be alive with a frequency of energy that will give its own musical harmony. The knowledge of what man is capable of and what he is becoming is already beginning to permeate into the minds of some of you, just as the change from ape man to modern man only took a short time, so it is now. This transformation has already begun, and you have only to wait a little while longer before fulfilling not just a dream, but the destiny of man. Just as in the past there were species that could not tolerate this heightened energy, so it is now. Do not be sad for them. There are races who will disappear also. Their energy will move on. Remember, there is no death. There is a form of creature not unlike your dinosaurs, which is alive and lives on a different world, many light years away. You must now acknowledge that emotional pain is only a result of a disturbance in the emotional body. Physical pain is only to let you know when something is wrong with your physical body. But as your brain moves and accelerates, because the body is becoming very much less important, you will eventually lose all pain on the physical level. Pain registers in the brain and is genetically formed for a particular reason at a specific time during your evolution. But now it is of no further value to you. Emotions are also dissipating, so emotional pain will no longer exist. You are becoming more in tune with the governing principle of compassion in the universe. You will not need your lower emotions. They have served your growth. Nothing we are describing here should be construed as either right or wrong, good or bad. We are simply noting that growth is taking place. You do not criticize or nor destroy a bulb just because it has yet to flower. You do not state that the bulb is bad. Only by first being a bulb can a plant become a beautiful flower. You cannot have the flower without the bulb. Emotions, pain, and karma are the sorrows you have experienced, and their only purpose was for your growth. Open your minds to this. Open your souls and see the truth. There is a keynote, a sound for every energy. Your physical body has a sound at a certain frequency, as do your emotions and your thoughts. We say this: your note is moving up an octave. This is not a literal statement, but a mental picture through which you can understand. Your emotions have been vibrating at a low sound frequency, and as the vibration moves higher, the coarseness of your emotions will be left behind. Those of you who understand the dynamics of sound and harmony can begin to comprehend what is happening. In one sense, as the frequency of the note is raised, the original note will no longer be heard. And as the frequency is heightened, your awareness will rise up with it. For some people, this transition will be disturbing. Many sounds entering your consciousness will pull at and irritate you. Go with these sounds, for they are part of your new journey. You have a saying: when your children suddenly grow faster, you say growing pains. Mankind is having growing pains now. Is it not wonderful and a delight to see your children grow? These pains herald your emergence into adulthood. Again, we say mankind is coming of age. We love you because you are part of the whole, not with emotional love. Many of you throughout the long years of your history have sensed our love, but because your love for us could only be expressed as a reflection, it was expressed through your emotions. Unfortunately, these emotions created a religious fervor, and some of you became fanatical, which was destructive to many. Now, as you open up to new growth, you must not become fanatical. You must not preach. There are many reasons why some of you will be left behind at this point of evolution. Some of these reasons are genetic, but you do have a choice. You can let go of fear and emotion if you choose. Know that you can fly. We are not predicting you will grow feathers. You are not mutating into birds. But as your bodies become lighter, you will be able to float and glide. Also, the gravitational pull of your Earth is already weakening, so there will be less gravity, so you will be able to glide without the need of wings. Come with us, dear children of light, and we will take you to a safe place. This is an adventure both for you and us. And although something similar has happened to other planets, each world is unique. Your planet is both beautiful and unique. We will enjoy this experience together. Put away your tears of emotion. Strive to reach up to the highest form of perfected love. Let it permeate your bodies, expanding and radiating from within you, helping all those with whom you come into contact. There is an additional frequency of energy calling you now. Begin now to see yourselves as creatures of light, because that is your destiny and what you will become.